Welcome back, artists. Today we are going to take our sketch and we're going to turn it into our final copy. So the goal of this Small Hands Change the World project is that our hands look similar to our skin color. If you have construction paper at home, you can use what you have that is closest to your skin color. I will have some options available at the pickup for virtual students. And if you can't get there, you can also be creative and come up with a way to incorporate color into your hand. So just like when we did our plan, our first step is to outline. And remember, we want to make sure that we are using the whole paper. So I'm going to turn my paper so that I can get my finger close to the edge. And then my arm is going off the edge of the paper. I'm going to still outline this with pencil, and I'm going to hold the pencil straight up. And we go really slow around the edges, especially my fingers. And then once I am finished, I can go ahead and get started on my final. Now, before you start your final, you might want to double check with the things that you have. Are you happy with everything you see? I noticed on mine, I forgot to put a 5 in here. I just did the 21s for my birthday, but I don't have the month. So I'm going to try to remember to fix that on my final copy. And depending on your comfort level with marker, once you have your name drawn in pencil, if you feel comfortable and you just want to go with your patterns with Sharpie right away, you could do that as well. I'm going to start with my name. Now that I have my name on here, I can go ahead and start with my patterns, either the lines or the things on my fingers that I need to work on. And remember, this was a plan. It is okay if you change your mind. Maybe you don't like this pattern, you want to switch it around to a different one. Or maybe you want different letters here, or maybe you came up with an idea for green. It's okay to change your mind as you are working, but it's important to have a plan before you start on final. And I am going to just go right to Sharpie when I do this. If you are going to work with Sharpie, you're going to want to make sure that you have something underneath. If you look at the back of this practice one that I did, you can see how some of the black is soaking right through, and that can leave dots on your desk or your table. This is just an old piece of cardboard that I've been working on for a while, and you can see there's a whole bunch of little dots that are on this, which is great, and not on my desk. The other thing I encourage you to do while you are working on your final is try to figure out where you can do some dark things. So if you notice here with my red line, I colored that in solid black and it stands out, okay? So that creates something in art we call contrast. I've done that 1, 2, 3 different times. I encourage you to, on your design someplace, have 3 areas that have things that are dark or solid or colored in with black that make them stand out. The other thing I didn't do on mine that you can do is use different Sharpies. So I have 2 different Sharpies. Well, I actually have 3. I have the thick one, which I use for the lines. I have the thinner one, which I did not use at all on this one, but it can make a thinner line. And then I have a really thin line that I could do as well for small details. So if you have those options, feel free to use them as well. If you don't have Sharpie, it's okay to use just a straight black marker, a Crayola marker, because those, but we do want to try to stick with just black lines for our designs. Now that I have my designs kind of on my hand, I want to do some final touches. A couple of things you should probably do. I didn't do the best job of outlining my letters. I kind of went off the lines, which is not a big deal, but you do want to go back and erase those so that it neatens it up. You just want to check all your spots. The other thing you want to think about doing is looking back and seeing where you put your dark lines. I have 1, 2, I think this kind of counts as a darker one too. This would be 3. I think that would maybe even be 4. I kind of like this here, so I might go and color in these circles. And then I'm also thinking maybe coloring in the bones, but those are just different things that I can do to help the different parts of my project stand out. You could, of course, color in the letters of your name if you wanted to as well, but that is not a requirement. So you just want to double check your lines, finalize your designs, and then the final step is to cut it out.